Hey everyone, welcome back. It's time for another Bracketology update. This one's gonna be interesting. Hope you guys had a good end to the work week overall, good into the week. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about some upsets that have happened recently real quick. So this could be a slightly longer video, but I want to get you guys up to speed just in case you don't know. Also, too, want to say, great comment section we had going on this past Tuesday. Quite a lot of conversation about teams, especially Illinois. Illinois picked up some heat in the comments. Want to settle the fact that I made that video earlier in the day, so this is well before Illinois, Michigan State. Before I mentioned about some of the games that have happened, the notable results from Tuesday and Thursday. Last four byes are Louisville, VCU, Boise State, Seton Hall. Last four in the playing games, two of the four are IU versus UConn, Xavier, Colorado State, Minnesota now out. Look on the outside looking in. God, they've looked terrible the last couple of months. Stanford, Richmond, now Michigan State creeping in. They upset at Ohio State. I don't know where this is coming from Michigan State, but next four out: Duke, Georgia Tech, Ole Miss, Utah State, Georgia Tech, and Ole Miss getting big victories. Tuesday was upset city. I'm not even kidding either. We had, of course, Michigan State upsetting Illinois. Kansas State, I don't know where this came from. They beat Oklahoma. They're one of the worst teams in Division I basketball right now. They've been the whole year. Virginia Tech just completely collapsed against Georgia Tech. Mississippi swept the season series against Missouri. Looks like no other notable results. Then Wednesday, Arkansas, big win, biggest win of the season against Alabama. They kind of shut them down in the final few minutes. NC State upsets Virginia. Tennessee getting back on the winning column against Vanderbilt. What else do we got? Rutgers beats IU. IU just, I don't know what to make of them anymore. Gonzaga had a scare against Santa Clara, but they pulled away at the last minute. Michigan, Michigan dominates Iowa in the second half. Michigan State upsets Ohio State. Uncharacteristical turnovers by Ohio State in that game. Houston in a close first half against Western Kentucky, then Western Kentucky just really didn't have much else left in the second half of their game. Colorado just steamrolls USC. I don't know where that came from either. San Diego State wins 9 in a row, this time beating Boise State. I think that's all for the notable results. And yeah, some bigger games going on this weekend. So, quickly looking at the bracketology, nobody really new in Region 1 and 2, just a lot of teams moving up and down. Region 4 and 3, we have Abilene Christian returning and Furman returning to the bracketology. So let's get through the list. Gonzaga is going to win the first game. I still think Oklahoma State can win. Maryland, though, has been doing better. Maryland's a streaky team. I wouldn't count them out. Maryland's been sneaky this year. USC plays great defense, but their offense last night was like, where was it? I have no idea. I don't trust Xavier or Colorado State to beat USC. And Virginia, I don't know anymore. I'm going with the 13-4. Virginia, first off, defensively is terrible. Then they can't even figure out how to score. They can't get off the defender and dribble around and stuff. This is a cluster going on with this team. I don't know much. I don't know what else to say about Virginia. They need to start really figuring it out. I don't know how it comes if Virginia's even a 4 seed on here. They should be much lower. Clemson, great defense, but offensively they do struggle, but I think they can beat St. Bonaventure. Iowa, man, I don't know if Iowa's ever going to learn, honestly. Florida versus Louisville, I'm going to go Florida. I know we're going all chalk here almost, except for Belmont and West Virginia, up to a 2 seed. Of course, that win over Texas really helped them out with the seeding there. I don't know what's going on. I'm just clicking this touchpad. Gonzaga over Oklahoma State. Oh, I want to really pick Belmont. I know they can do it, but USC, I think, just sneaks by. The Mobley brothers are great. Clemson, Iowa. I'm going to go Iowa, although Clemson could at Iowa. I just don't see the offensive power there with Clemson beating Iowa. Florida, West Virginia. West Virginia will beat Florida. And then I got Gonzaga over USC. Then I got West Virginia beating Iowa. West Virginia is a very tough team. Never count them out. This would be a fantastic rematch of the Jimmy V Classic. You know what? I'm going to change things up a little bit. I'm going to go West Virginia to the Final Four. I know I'm taking Gonzaga to the national championship, but you never know what you're going to get with Gonzaga. They've had a history in a tournament where they've gotten eliminated early. So I would never, I don't know, just want to change things up just a little bit, give you the possibilities of what could happen. Ohio State over Texas State, Region 4 now. San Diego State can definitely beat Oregon. San Diego State is one of the hottest teams right now in the country. Be careful with them. Arkansas, Wichita State, Arkansas up to a 5. That was a big win for them against Alabama. We'll talk about Alabama in a second, but Wichita State, I don't think this is the vintage team that they were before. I'm going to go with Arkansas. I could see Winthrop upsetting Kansas, but Kansas has been playing much better lately. Kansas just, they need to stay consistent. If they stay consistent and play great defense, they're gonna get farther than some people think. Purdue, Seton Hall, as much as I want to pick Seton Hall, they've struggled a bit lately too much. Purdue's weird, but I mean, gotta give it to them. Oklahoma over Abilene Christian. Oklahoma, I don't like that. Like I said, that loss against Kansas State made no sense to me at all. I'm gonna go Colorado. Colorado UNC is a tricky one because Colorado, I know they got McKinley right to 4th, but jeez, I mean, I don't know. That's a toss-up. Alabama, I think, will beat James Madison. Ohio State, I could see the upset. I could see Ohio State losing this game because if Ohio State plays that game where they end up turning the ball over so much, San Diego State could take advantage of the opportunity. But at this point in time, I'm going OSU, but I think it's going to be much closer than what people think. They've played well. That's a dangerous team. I mean, I think Matt Mitchell's their leading scorer on that team. Arkansas, Kansas. I'm going to take Arkansas, the hot hand of Arkansas. They've played well. Defensively, they played great against Alabama. They had like 10 blocks in that game. Purdue, Oklahoma. I mean, that's a tricky game because Purdue could win, but I can't really see it happening. Alabama versus Colorado. I'm going to go Alabama. And then, you know what? I have an upset here. I'm going with the 5-1 because Arkansas, you get these teams that click at the right time. And Ohio State, I don't know. They're a team I feel like that can at the best get to the Elite 8 right now. I'm not sure. If Ohio State were to just... They have a great offensive unit, but they've had some uncharacteristical moments lately, and it's just not looking too... I don't like the looks of that. And then we got a rematch here, Oklahoma-Alabama. I don't know who's going to win this game. I really don't. This is a complete toss-up to me, but if Oklahoma plays like they did against Kansas State, I think Alabama will beat them. And then we got a very enticing rematch. This would be the third game between these two. Alabama blew them out the first time, but Arkansas figured them out the second time. And you know what? I'm going to make things different. I know that's a gutsy move. I know. Way earlier in my bracketology videos, I wasn't even considering Arkansas because they hadn't played anybody yet. And I was like, I'm not taking this team anywhere. But you know what? I know it's weird. I'm going to get called a hypocrite in the comments. But here's the thing. Things change over time. And I'm doing this, though, if March Madness started right now. But Alabama could definitely get to the Final Four. They have one of the better defenses in the country. They're more versatile, but... Pardon me. Gosh, they've been getting outplayed at times, and they've been kind of letting them some points. So that worries me a little bit. Baylor overplaying. Baylor didn't look too good against Iowa State. They hadn't played in 3 weeks, so that's going to be something to watch. They have a big game against West Virginia on Tuesday, and then they have another big game this weekend. I think it's against Kansas. I'm going Loyola Chicago over Rutgers. Loyola Chicago allows the fewest points per game in the league, or should I say, in the entire D1 league. And that's just incredible. But Loyola Chicago kind of struggles to score a little bit. Of course, the bracketology wants me to pick Wisconsin. I'm going to do it because Toledo, I just don't think it can beat Wisconsin. Creighton versus UC Santa Barbara. We're going to go Creighton. Creighton's kind of come out alive a little bit more as of late. Virginia Tech and Drake. Virginia Tech, they haven't played incredibly well, and I'm going to go with the upset. I might as well Drake. I feel like Drake could still possibly do something. That's going to be tough, though. Houston will probably play the best defensive game of the season. But I feel like Western Kentucky gave up. I don't know. Maybe I'm being biased there, but it's like Houston shooting a three like lights out. Houston sizing up in the inside, they're going to be a problem if they end up keeping that consistency. I think that loss to Wichita State woke them up a lot, so I'm really liking Houston again a bit. So that's the Houston team I want to see, so they could do something. I'm going to go VCU over BYU. That's a toss-up there, too. That kind of rhymed. Illinois over Siena. Illinois, we're not even going to get started in Illinois. Oh, Jesus. Baylor versus Loyola. We're going to go Baylor, of course. And I'm going to go with Creighton over Wisconsin. Like I said, I needed to see more from Wisconsin. I know they got a good defense, but I don't know. It seems like that doesn't even make sense at times. Like, it just doesn't even matter at times. They just cannot freaking score a lot of time. And I'm going to go Houston over Drake. And then I got Illinois over VCU. We'll talk about this in a minute because I had a particular comment basically referred to these two teams, Houston and Illinois. Baylor's going to beat Creighton, although Creighton could push Baylor. I would not be surprised, but we'll see. Houston, Illinois, I got an interesting comment basically saying you're going to punish Houston. Here's the thing. It's like comparing apples to oranges. Houston's in a weaker conference. Illinois is in a much tougher conference. And Illinois was missing from the free throw line very badly. I know. That's the thing. Yeah, punish Houston, but that's the thing. Losing to a team like East Carolina, that's bad. They're way worse than Michigan State. And Michigan State's got the coaching experience, so that's the thing. In this point in time, I'm going with Houston. I cannot pick Illinois because they did not. Then I assume, of course, injured. He has a broken nose. I mean, who knows when he's coming back? They played well against Nebraska a little bit. I mean, they scored almost 90, but they let up 70. Baylor-Houston would be a heck of a matchup. I don't know who'd win this game. I'm going to go Baylor, but Baylor scares me in the tournament because of their recent history. I don't like it too much, and Houston could certainly make a Final Four run. I liked watching their mojo come back the last couple of games. They've really come alive lately. But here's the thing, too, against Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky, had they not had the, 2 week and a half break, I think it would have been much closer. But Houston really playing tough the last couple of games. Michigan, Region 3. Michigan's just phenomenal, to put it that way. Now, UCLA, LSU, I'm not sure who to pick. I'm really stuck on this one. I'm going to go LSU. They score more. I still think Western Kentucky can beat Tennessee, or I think Western Kentucky can still win. I know they didn't look great against Houston, but they were coming off like a 10-day break. And Tennessee has been way too up and down. If Western Kentucky just gets it back together, I definitely see the upset there. Texas can lose in the first round too. Texas just, I don't know. That team just does not look right at all right now. Texas Tech over IU, UConn. Listen, Texas Tech's falling off the map again. I have no idea what in the world's going on with this team. I think UConn could upset Texas Tech. I'm going UConn in the playing game there. But right now, I'm going to go with Texas Tech. UConn needs to win more, but they have the talent. I think they can win a couple of games possibly. Florida State, we already been talking about FSU and how talented they are. They're such a deep team, too. Missouri, Boise State, Missouri is just lost. They look so lost. They don't play well. They're not all there chemically. They're just so... It seems like they're chemically imbalanced. I have no idea what's going on with this team right now. I still think, though, they can beat Boise State. Boise State's had their struggles. I mean, I don't know. I'm not feeling the vibe from them, but I don't know. We'll see. If Missouri plays the way they did earlier this season, yeah, they are a dangerous team, believe it or not. They are a much better team than this, but they're not showing it. My goodness. Villanova, I mean, I guess I trust Villanova a little bit more right now in this case than I did. I don't know. Villanova's a team that I'm just like, I don't know. You just don't know. We say I don't know a lot when we're doing this stuff. It's just how it is. I'm going Michigan over LSU. I don't think Western Kentucky can beat Texas. I think Texas will edge them out. Texas will find their groove. Trust me. It just takes time. Texas Tech, Florida State. Listen, this is a hell of a game, but there's no way I see Texas Tech beating Florida State in the state they're in right now. Texas Tech having a hard time scoring offensively at times. Ooh, I really want to pick the 7-2 upset. You know what? I'm going to do it. Missouri, if they get in the right mindset, they can make some upsets in this tournament. I mean, I know I've been trusting them less lately, but you know what? It takes some reconsideration sometimes. You gotta reconsider things at times. So make things a little bit different. Kind of trust them, even though they've been losing a bit lately. I think they could still find their groove. It just takes time. It kind of reminds me a little bit of South Carolina from 4 years ago, where they were kind of tumbling there in the end, and then they really snapped to life. They're not the same type of team, of course, but they can definitely. I mean, Missouri. I mean, you get these 7 seed runs that are just strange, but you just don't see it coming sometimes, so you never know what you're going to get. Michigan over Texas, and then I'm going Florida State over Missouri. As much as I think Missouri could push Florida State is so well coached. Florida State looks like at least an Elite Eight team. But Michigan, the way they're playing, I just don't think Michigan can lose to Florida State. I know I picked Florida State to upset Michigan, but Michigan's been playing like a national championship team. I can't believe the level of talent with this team right now. What a different Final Four bracket we have here. West Virginia versus Arkansas. If you would have told me I would have been putting Arkansas in my Final Four, I would have told you you were a liar, seriously. But that's how it shapes out. I'm going West Virginia, though, over Arkansas. West Virginia's time might be coming for a national title run. We don't know, though. We'll see. And then Michigan, Baylor. I'm going with Michigan. And then I'm taking Michigan to win the national championship because they look like they can win the national championship right now. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching the video. A little bit different there with the picks and stuff. Some of you are going to be like, well, geez, I didn't see that coming. But I mean, it is what it is. I want to make things a little bit different. I said I want to take some lower seeds to the Final Four from several videos ago, make things a little bit different, show you what possibilities could happen, kind of gauge your idea on what you might want to do in a couple of weeks and how you kind of want to make your picks. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Take care, everyone.